Dr. Vexhal looked at the screens around him with growing horror. The numbers kept getting worse. More sick people arrived every hour at his hospital on Zelthara Prime. The Korthak ships in orbit above had dropped something terrible on his world 3 days ago. It was not a normal bomb. It was something that made people very sick but did not kill them quickly. The blue-skinned doctor moved between the beds where his people lay suffering. Their scales had turned gray and black spots covered their skin. They could not eat. They could barely breathe. The worst part was that they stayed awake through all the pain. The Korthak weapon made sure of that. "Doctor, we have 50 more patients coming in," said Nurse Telmara. Her voice shook as she spoke. "The transport ships from the eastern cities are full." Vexhal closed his 4 eyes for a moment. His hospital was built for 2,000 patients. Now they had 8,000. They had run out of beds yesterday. People lay on floors and hallways anywhere they could find space. His medicine was not working. Nothing was working. "Have we heard anything from the Galactic Medical Coalition?" he asked. "Nothing yet, Doctor. Our messages keep going out, but no ships have answered." Vexahal walked to his office and sat at his desk. Outside the window he could see smoke rising from the city. The Korthak ships still floated in the sky like dark metal clouds. They had stopped dropping weapons, but they had not left. They wanted to watch his people suffer. He opened the communication system and began recording another message. His voice was tired but clear. "This is Dr. Vexhal of Zelthara Prime Medical Center. We need help urgently. The Korthak Empire has used biological weapons on our world. Millions of our people are sick and in terrible pain. We need doctors, medical supplies, and hospital ships immediately. Please, anyone who receives this message, we are dying slowly and we cannot stop it." He sent the message out to every frequency he knew. Someone had to hear it. Someone had to care enough to help. Far away in space, Admiral Jake Morrison sat in his command chair on the human ship UHS Nightingale. The 52-year-old man had gray hair and scars on his hands from many battles. He was drinking coffee when his communication officer turned to him. "Admiral, we're picking up a distress call from the Zelthara system," said Lieutenant Ryan Clark. "Put it through, Ryan." The alien doctor's voice filled the bridge. Morrison listened to every word. Around him, his crew became quiet. They had all heard distress calls before, but this one was different. This was not about a broken ship or pirates. This was about millions of people suffering. "Sir, what are your orders?" asked Captain Lisa Hayes. She commanded the ship, but Morrison was in charge of the whole battle group. Morrison stood up and walked to the big screen that showed space around them. "How many ships do we have in the 7th Battle Group, Lisa?" 3 dreadnoughts, 12 destroyers, and 2 medical frigates, sir." "Good. Send a message to all ships. We're changing course for the Zelthara system. Maximum speed." Dr. Ben Carter, the chief medical officer, walked onto the bridge. "Admiral, I heard the distress call. Do we know what kind of biological weapon the Korthak used?" "Not yet, Doc. But we'll find out when we get there." Carter nodded. "I'll prepare the medical teams." "How long until we arrive?" 6 hours, Morrison said. He turned to look at Carter. "Doc, make sure your people are ready for anything. From what that alien doctor said, this is going to be bad." "Yes, sir. Should I prepare for a large number of casualties?" Morrison smiled, but it was not a happy smile. "You could say that, but most of the casualties won't be on our side." Captain Hayes looked confused. "Sir, the distress call was asking for medical aid, not military support." "I know what they asked for, Lisa. And we're going to give them medical aid. We're going to cure their problem." Morrison turned to his tactical officer. "Commander Alex Stone, start planning an attack on the Korthak fleet. Full battle deployment." Stone looked surprised. "Sir, shouldn't we try talking to them first?" "The time for talking ended when they used biological weapons on civilians," Morrison said. His voice was hard and cold. "They created a medical emergency. We're going to provide a medical solution." On the planet below, Governor Thelwyn came to visit Dr. Vexhal at the hospital. The leader of Zelthara Prime looked tired and worried. His usually bright green skin had turned pale. "Any word from the medical coalition?" the governor asked. "Nothing yet. But I keep sending messages. Someone will answer. The Korthak commander contacted me an hour ago. He wants us to surrender completely. He said if we do, they will give us medicine for the sick." Vexhal's hands turned into fists. "You cannot trust them. They are the ones who made our people sick. They want us to become their slaves, I know. But doctor, what choice do we have? Every hour more people get sick. Every hour the pain gets worse. Maybe if we surrender. No. Vexhal stood up. We do not give up. Someone will come to help us. They have to. In space, the human ships moved faster than they had ever moved before. Admiral Morrison stood on the bridge watching the stars. His crew worked around him, preparing for battle. They checked weapons, loaded ammunition, and made sure all systems were ready. "Admiral," said Lieutenant Clark, "we're getting reports from other coalition ships. 3 medical vessels are heading towards Zelthara Prime. They should arrive in 2 days." 2 days, Morrison repeated. "Too long. People are dying now." Dr. Carter walked up to him. "Admiral, I've been thinking about what kind of biological weapon could cause this much suffering without killing quickly. The Korthak are known for making people suffer before they die. It's their way of breaking the spirit of their enemies." "What are you thinking, Doc?" "I think they made something that attacks the nervous system. It causes pain but keeps the victim alive for weeks, maybe months. It's designed to be cruel." Morrison's jaw tightened. "Then we better make sure they don't get to see how well their weapon works." "Sir, we're 1 hour from the Zelthara system," reported the navigation officer. "All ships, prepare for battle stations," Morrison ordered. "And someone send a message to that doctor on the planet. Tell him that medical aid is on the way." Dr. Vexhal was working on a patient when the message came through. He read it twice to make sure he understood correctly. "This is Admiral Morrison of the Human Defense Fleet. We received your distress call. Medical assistance is 1 hour away. Prepare to receive aid." Vexhal had never heard of humans before, but right now he did not care who they were. Help was coming. That was all that mattered. Dr. Vexhal stood on the observation deck of his hospital looking up at the sky. He had told everyone that help was coming. Medical ships would arrive soon with doctors and supplies. The sick people in his hospital needed hope, and this news had given them some. The sky above Zelthara Prime was dark with Korthak ships. They hung there like black metal insects, waiting and watching. But now something was different. New shapes appeared in the distance, moving fast through space. "Doctor, look at those ships," said Nurse Telmara. She pointed at the approaching vessels. "They are huge." Vexhal looked through his viewing device and felt his heart stop beating for a moment. The ships coming toward them were not white medical vessels with red crosses. They were dark gray warships covered in weapons. These ships looked designed for one purpose only: fighting. "Those are not medical ships," he whispered. On the planet's surface, Governor Thelwyn received an urgent call from his space monitoring station. "Governor, unknown warships are entering our system." "They are not responding to our identification requests." "How many ships?" 17 vessels, sir. 3 very large ones and many smaller ones. They are moving in battle formation." The governor felt sick. First, the Korthak had attacked them with terrible weapons. Now more warships were coming. "Are they Korthak reinforcements?" "No, sir. These ships look completely different. We have never seen designs like these before." In space above the planet, the human ships moved into position. Admiral Morrison stood on the bridge of his flagship, watching the Korthak fleet on his screens. There were 8 Korthak warships surrounding the planet like hungry animals. Captain Hayes. "Open a channel to the planet's surface," Morrison ordered. "Channel open." "Sir." Morrison spoke clearly into the communication system. "This is Admiral Jake Morrison of the Human Defense Fleet. We are responding to your medical emergency. Prepare to receive aid." On the planet, Dr. Vexhal and Governor Thelwyn heard the message in the hospital's communication center. They looked at each other with confusion and fear. "Those are warships, not medical ships," the governor said. "What kind of medical aid do they think they are providing?" Dr. Vexhal activated the communication system. "Admiral Morrison, this is Dr. Vexhal. We asked for medical assistance. We need doctors and medicine, not weapons. Our people are sick and dying from biological weapons." There was a pause before Morrison's voice came back. "Doctor, we understand your situation completely. We have brought medical supplies and doctors. But first, we need to treat the source of your medical emergency." "The source? I do not understand." Captain Lisa Hayes took over the communication. Her voice was calm and professional. "Doctor, you have an infection on your planet. The infection is caused by the Korthak forces above you. We are here to remove that infection permanently." Dr. Vexhal felt more confused than ever. "Captain, the Korthak are not a disease. They are an enemy military force." "From a medical perspective, doctor, there is no difference," Hayes replied. "They are causing harm to innocent people. They are spreading suffering and death. In human medicine, when we find something that causes harm to the body, we remove it. Governor Thelwyn stepped forward. Human ships, we appreciate your offer, but we cannot ask you to fight our battles. The Korthak fleet is very strong. You will be destroyed. Admiral Morrison's voice came back, and this time there was something like laughter in it. Governor, respectfully, you have never seen human medical procedures. We are very good at removing infections, no matter how stubborn they are. On one of the Korthak ships, War Leader Grixthok looked at the human vessels with interest. The Korthak were tall, gray-skinned beings with sharp teeth and black eyes. Grixthok had fought many species in his long career, but he had never seen ships like these. What are those vessels? He asked his tactical officer. Unknown design, War Leader. They claim to be from something called the Human Defense Fleet. Humans? Grixthok thought for a moment. I have never heard of this species. How many ships? 17, sir. But they are smaller than our vessels. Grixthok laughed, showing his sharp teeth. 17 ships against 8 of ours? And their ships are smaller? These humans must be very stupid or very brave. Either way, they will die quickly. Should we attack them, War Leader? Not yet. Let us see what they want. Perhaps they wish to surrender before we destroy them. Grixthok opened a communication channel to the human ships. Human vessels, this is War Leader Grixthok of the Korthak Empire. You are in Korthak territory now. Leave immediately or be destroyed. Admiral Morrison replied immediately. War Leader, this is Admiral Morrison. We are here on a medical mission. You have used biological weapons against civilian populations. This is causing a medical emergency that we are here to solve. Medical mission? Grixthok was confused. These are warships, not medical vessels. War Leader, in human medicine, sometimes surgery requires very sharp tools. Dr. Ben Carter was on the bridge now, listening to the conversation. The human doctor stepped forward. War Leader Grixthok, I am Dr. Carter, Chief Medical Officer of this fleet. Your biological weapons are causing unnecessary suffering to millions of innocent people. This goes against all medical ethics. We are here to stop this suffering. Doctor? Grixthok was even more confused now. You are a doctor, but you travel with warships? Yes, Carter replied simply. Sometimes the best medicine is preventive. We prevent diseases from spreading. Right now, your actions are a disease that is spreading suffering. We are here to cure it. On the planet, Dr. Vexhall listened to this conversation with growing amazement. These humans talked about war like it was medicine. They spoke of removing enemy forces like a doctor would remove a tumor. I do not understand these humans, he said to Governor Thelwyn. They think like doctors, but they act like warriors. Maybe, the governor replied. That is exactly what we need. Commander Alex Stone, the human tactical officer, was working at his station. He looked up at Admiral Morrison. Sir, I have finished analyzing the Korthak fleet positions. They are arranged for planetary bombardment, not ship-to-ship combat. They are not expecting a fight. Perfect, Morrison said. That will make the surgery much cleaner. Captain Hayes looked at the Admiral. Sir, are you sure about this? We could try talking to them first. Maybe we can convince them to leave without fighting. Morrison shook his head. Lisa, they used biological weapons on civilians. They are making people suffer on purpose. You do not negotiate with a cancer. You cut it out. Dr. Carter checked his medical equipment one more time. Admiral, I am ready to begin treating patients as soon as the area is secure. I have antidotes prepared based on what we know about Korthak biological weapons. Good work, Doc. How long until you can have treatment ready? If we can get samples of the actual weapon they used, I can have a cure in 6 hours. Morrison smiled. Then let us go get you those samples. All ships prepare for medical intervention. Target the Korthak vessels for immediate removal. War Leader Grixthok watched the human ships begin to move into attack formation. They are actually going to fight us? 17 small ships against our 8 battleships? It appears so, War Leader. Then let us teach these humans about Korthak military power. All ships attack formation. Destroy the human fleet. Admiral Morrison watched the Korthak ships begin to turn toward them. Here we go, people. Time to practice medicine the human way. The space around Zelthara Prime suddenly filled with energy beams and explosions. The Korthak ships opened fire first, sending massive red beams toward the human vessels. But the human ships moved in ways the Korthak had never seen before. Admiral Morrison watched the battle from his command chair. All ships execute surgical strike pattern Alpha, remember? We need some of those ships intact. Dr. Carter needs their research data. The human destroyers split into 3 groups and attacked from different directions. They were much faster than the Korthak ships expected. The aliens had fought many species before, but most alien races fought in straight lines, ship against ship. Humans fought like they were everywhere at once. Captain Lisa Hayes commanded her dreadnought UHS Nightingale as it moved toward the largest Korthak ship. Commander Stone, target their weapon systems, not their engines. We want them disabled, not destroyed. Yes, ma'am. Firing precise strikes on their gun batteries. The Nightingale's weapons were smaller than the Korthak guns, but they hit exactly where they were aimed. One by one, the Korthak ship's weapons went dark. The alien ship could no longer fight, but it was still in one piece. War Leader Grixthok stood on his command bridge as his ship shook from human weapons fire. How are they doing this? Our ships are bigger and stronger. Sir, they are not trying to destroy us, his tactical officer reported. They're targeting specific systems. Our weapons are offline, but our life support and engines still work. What kind of battle strategy is this? On another Korthak ship, the alien crew watched in confusion as human fighters flew around them in complex patterns. The small human ships were not attacking randomly. They hit the communication arrays, then the sensor systems, then the weapon controls. Each strike was planned and precise. Lieutenant Sam Brooks led a squadron of human fighters toward a Korthak vessel that looked different from the others. Command, this ship has laboratory equipment on it. I think this is where they made their biological weapon. Dr. Carter's voice came through the communication system. Lieutenant Brooks, that ship is our priority target. We need those research files intact. Can you disable it without destroying the laboratory? Yes, sir. We will take out their engines and weapons, but leave the center section alone. The human fighters attacked like surgeons' tools, cutting away only what needed to be removed. Within minutes, the Korthak laboratory ship was floating helpless in space. Its weapons gone, but its research equipment undamaged. On the planet below, Dr. Vexhall watched the battle through his telescope. I have never seen anything like this. The humans are not just attacking. They are taking the Korthak ships apart piece by piece. Governor Thelwyn stood beside him. It is like watching a doctor perform surgery. They know exactly what they want to remove and what they want to keep. In space, Commander Stone reported to Admiral Morrison. Sir, we have disabled 6 of the 8 Korthak ships. 2 are trying to escape. Let one go, Morrison ordered. But capture the other one. We need prisoners for interrogation. They might know about other biological weapons. Captain Hayes maneuvered her ship to block the path of the escaping Korthak vessel. Attention, Korthak ship, you are surrounded. Shut down your engines and prepare to be boarded. The Korthak captain tried to ram the human ship instead of surrendering, but the Nightingale simply moved aside and used a device called a tractor beam to grab the alien vessel. The Korthak ship was trapped like a fish in a net. Boarding parties, prepare to board the captured vessels, Morrison commanded. Remember, we need their research data and their commanders alive. Be precise. Lieutenant Brooks led the first boarding party onto the Korthak laboratory ship. The human soldiers moved through the alien corridors with the same precision they had shown in space combat. They did not shoot everything they saw. Instead, they carefully secured the research areas and captured the Korthak scientists. Dr. Carter was in the second boarding group. He went straight to the laboratory where the biological weapons had been created. Perfect. Their research computers are intact. I can use this data to create a cure for their weapon. The captured Korthak scientists looked at Dr. Carter with confusion. You are a doctor, but you fight with soldiers? I am a doctor who believes in treating the cause of disease, not just the symptoms, Carter replied. Your biological weapon is a disease. I am here to cure it. Back on the planet, the communication system crackled to life. Admiral Morrison's voice reached Dr. Vexhall and Governor Thelwyn. Planet Zelthara Prime, this is Admiral Morrison. The immediate threat has been removed. We are beginning medical operations now. Admiral, what happened to the Korthak fleet? The governor asked. They have been surgically removed from your system. Most of their ships are disabled. We have captured their research data about the biological weapon. Dr. Carter is working on a cure now. Dr. Vexhall could hardly believe what he was hearing. You defeated 8 Korthak warships in less than an hour? Doctor, when human doctors perform surgery, we work quickly to minimize trauma to the patient. The same principle applies here. On the captured Korthak command ship, Captain Hayes stood in front of War Leader Grixthok. The alien commander was injured but alive. War Leader, you are now a prisoner of the Human Defense Fleet. You will be treated according to medical ethics. Medical ethics? Grixthok snarled. You destroyed my fleet. We disabled your fleet, Hayes corrected. If we had wanted to destroy it, you would all be dead. Instead, most of your crews are alive and will receive medical treatment for their injuries. Grixthok looked confused. Why did you not kill us? We are your enemies. Because, Hayes explained, good doctors do not kill patients, even sick ones. You are sick with a disease called cruelty. We will treat that disease, but we will not kill you for having it. Dr. Carter worked in the captured laboratory with several Korthak scientists. The aliens were surprised to find that the human doctor was treating them with respect, even though they had created terrible weapons. Dr. Carter, one of the Korthak scientists, said, "Why are you being kind to us? We made weapons that hurt your allies." Carter looked up from his work. "Because you have information I need to help the people on the planet below. Also, you are scientists. Scientists should create things that help people, not hurt them. Maybe I can teach you a better way to use your knowledge." Within 4 hours, Dr. Carter had analyzed the Korthak biological weapon and created an antidote. "Admiral, I have the cure. We can start treating the people on the planet immediately." Morrison smiled for the first time since the battle began. "Outstanding work, Doc. Begin medical operations. All ships deploy medical teams to the planet's surface. The human medical frigates, which had stayed safely behind during the battle, now moved into orbit around Zelthara Prime. Dozens of small medical ships launched from them. Heading down to the planet's surface, Dr. Vexhal watched the human medical ships land outside his hospital. The ships were white with red crosses on them, just like he had expected to see hours earlier. But now he understood that the warships had been just as much a part of the medical mission as these hospital ships. Captain Hayes contacted the planet one more time. "Dr. Vexhal, our medical teams are ready to begin treatment. We have the cure for the biological weapon, and we have supplies to treat all the sick people on your planet. Captain Hayes, I want to thank you and your people. You came when we needed help most. Doctor, that is what medical professionals do. We respond to emergencies. Sometimes those emergencies require surgery before we can begin healing, Admiral." Morrison looked at the tactical display, showing the disabled Korthak ships and the medical operations beginning on the planet. "Commander Stone, send a message to Fleet Command. Tell them the medical emergency in the Zelthara system has been resolved." "What should I say about our methods, sir?" Morrison thought for a moment. "Tell them we treated the problem with standard human medical procedures. Surgical removal of the cause, followed by treatment of the symptoms." Dr. Carter's voice came over the communication system from the planet's surface. "Admiral, the cure is working perfectly. The people here are already starting to feel better. We should have everyone treated within 24 hours. Excellent news, Doc. How are our former enemies doing?" "The captured Korthak crew members are recovering from their injuries. I think some of their scientists are actually interested in learning about peaceful medical research." Morrison nodded with satisfaction. "Good. Maybe we can cure their disease too." Dr. Vexhal walked through his hospital and could not believe what he was seeing. For the first time in days, his patients were not screaming in pain. The human cure was working faster than he had thought possible. People who had been dying just hours earlier were now sitting up and talking. "Doctor, look at this," said Nurse Telmara. She pointed to a patient whose skin had been covered in black spots. Now the spots were fading and his normal blue color was returning. "The human medicine is incredible." Dr. Ben Carter worked alongside the alien medical staff, teaching them how to use the cure properly. The human doctor moved from bed to bed, checking each patient carefully. "The antidote works by reversing the nerve damage caused by the biological weapon. Most patients will be completely healthy within 12 hours. Dr. Vexhal watched Carter work. "Dr. Carter, I have been a doctor for 30 years, but I have never seen medicine work this fast. How did you create this cure so quickly?" Carter looked up from his patient. "Dr. Vexhal, we had an advantage. We captured the original research from the people who made the weapon. When you know exactly what caused a disease, it is much easier to cure it. But still, to create an antidote in just 4 hours, human medicine is very good at dealing with weapons designed to hurt people," Carter explained. "We have had a lot of practice, unfortunately. War creates many medical problems, so we have learned to solve them quickly." Outside the hospital, human medical teams had set up treatment centers throughout the city. Corporal Kate Miller led a team of Marine medics who were treating civilians in a large tent. The young woman moved efficiently between patients, giving injections and checking vital signs. Corporal Miller, how many people have you treated today? Asked Governor Thelwyn, who had come to see the medical operations. About 300 so far, sir. We should have everyone in this district treated by tonight. The governor watched the human medics work. They moved like soldiers but treated patients like family members. Corporal, can I ask you something? Your people came here with warships, but now you are healing our sick. How do you do both? Kate Miller paused in her work. Governor, in human culture, fighting and healing are not opposite things. Sometimes you have to fight to protect the people you want to heal. Sometimes you have to heal the people you fought against. We do whatever is needed to make things better. Back in space, Captain Lisa Hayes was interrogating war leader Grixthok on the captured Korthak command ship. The alien commander sat in the ship's medical bay, where human doctors had treated his injuries from the battle. War leader, we need information about other Korthak biological weapons, Hayes said. Are there other planets under attack like Zelthara Prime? Grixthok looked at the human captain with confusion.
Why do you care about other planets?
You have already won here. Take your victory and leave. Because, Hayes replied, our medical mission is not finished. If there are other sick people out there, we need to help them too. You would fight more battles just to help strangers? Hayes nodded. That is what doctors do, war leader. They help anyone who needs help, even if they do not know them personally. Grixthok was quiet for a long time. Finally, he spoke. There are 3 other worlds under attack. The High Command ordered biological strikes against anyone who refused to surrender to the Empire. Where are these worlds? Why should I tell you? You are my enemy. Captain Hayes sat down across from the alien commander. War leader, look around you. You are injured, but our doctors treated your wounds. Your crew members who were hurt in the battle are being cared for by our medical staff. Does this seem like how enemies usually treat each other? Grixthok looked around the medical bay. Human doctors and nurses were indeed taking care of Korthak soldiers. They showed no anger or hatred, just professional medical concern. I do not understand you humans. We attacked innocent people, but you heal us anyway. Because healing is what we do, Hayes explained. Fighting is sometimes necessary, but healing is always the goal. The Korthak commander was silent for several minutes. Then he gave Hayes the locations of the 3 other planets under attack. Down on Zelthara Prime, Admiral Morrison visited Dr. Vexhall at the hospital. The human admiral walked through the wards where patients were recovering rapidly. Doctor, how are your people doing? Much better, Admiral. Thanks to your cure, almost everyone will recover completely. But I want to ask you something. Go ahead. Dr. Vexhall led Morrison to a quiet corner of the hospital. Admiral, your methods are very different from what I expected. When I called for medical aid, I thought medical ships would come with doctors and supplies. Instead, you came with warships and soldiers, but you saved more lives in one day than traditional medical missions could have saved in weeks. Morrison nodded. Doctor, different problems require different solutions. Your people were not just sick. They were under attack by an enemy who wanted them to suffer. Traditional medicine could have treated the symptoms, but only military action could treat the cause. So you see no difference between medicine and warfare? There is a big difference, Morrison replied. Medicine is about saving lives and reducing suffering. Sometimes that requires fighting. Sometimes it requires healing. The goal is always the same: make things better for innocent people. Dr. Carter joined their conversation. Dr. Vexhall, I have some news. The Korthak scientists we captured have been very helpful. They have given us information about all the biological weapons their empire has created. We can make cures for all of them. That is wonderful news, Dr. Carter. There is more, Carter continued. Some of the Korthak scientists want to work with us. They say they became scientists to help people, but their government forced them to make weapons instead. They want to use their knowledge for healing, not hurting. Admiral Morrison looked interested. What did you tell them? I told them that any scientist who wants to help save lives is welcome to work with us. We can always use more medical researchers. Governor Thelwyn approached the group of doctors and military officers. Admiral Morrison, I have received a message from the Galactic Medical Coalition. They want to know what happened here. 3 of their medical ships are still 2 days away, but they are asking for a full report. What are you going to tell them? Morrison asked. The truth. That humans responded to our medical emergency and solved it using methods we had never seen before. Dr. Vexhall looked at the humans around him. I will also tell them that human medicine is different from anything we have experienced. You treat the whole problem, not just the symptoms. Captain Hayes contacted Admiral Morrison from space. Admiral, we have extracted all the useful information from the captured Korthak ships. What should we do with the vessels and crews? Send the disabled ships back to Korthak space with a message, Morrison replied. Tell them that the Korthak Empire has a disease called cruelty, and we have the cure. Anytime they attack innocent people with biological weapons, human medical teams will respond to treat the problem. And the crews, sir? Release them with their ships. But keep the scientists who want to work with us. Also, make sure War Leader Grixthok understands that his people are welcome to contact us if they ever decide they want to be healers instead of herders. Dr. Carter was working with one of the Korthak scientists in a temporary laboratory they had set up. Dr. Kethvar, this new medicine you are developing could help millions of people across the galaxy. The Korthak scientist looked up from his work. Dr. Carter, I spent 5 years creating weapons that caused pain. I want to spend the rest of my life creating medicines that stop pain. That sounds like a good medical plan to me. As evening came to Zelthara Prime, Dr. Vexhall stood on the hospital's observation deck looking up at the sky. The Korthak ships were gone. In their place, human medical vessels continued their work, making sure every person on the planet received treatment. Nurse Telmara joined him. Doctor, do you think we will ever see the humans again? I hope so, Vexhall replied. I would like to learn more about their medical methods. They have shown us that sometimes the best way to heal is to be strong enough to stop those who cause harm. Admiral Morrison's voice came over the communication system one final time. People of Zelthara Prime, this is Admiral Morrison. Our medical mission here is almost complete. Your people are healthy, and the threat that made them sick has been removed. We are leaving medical supplies and equipment to help you stay healthy in the future. Dr. Vexhall activated the communication system. Admiral Morrison, on behalf of all the people of Zelthara Prime, thank you. You have shown us that true healers are those who do whatever is necessary to protect innocent life. Doctor, if you ever need medical assistance again, just call. Human medical teams are always ready to respond to emergencies. As the human ships prepared to leave, Dr. Vexhall thought about what he had learned. Medicine was not just about treating disease. Sometimes it was about removing the things that caused disease in the first place. The humans had taught him that healers could also be warriors when necessary, and warriors could also be healers when the fighting was done. 3 weeks after the battle at Zelthara Prime, Admiral Morrison sat in a meeting room on the space station that served as headquarters for the Galactic Medical Coalition. Around the large table sat representatives from dozens of alien species, all of them doctors or medical administrators. Dr. Yelena, the coalition's director, was a tall, thin alien with silver skin and large eyes. She looked at Morrison with a mixture of curiosity and concern. Admiral Morrison, we have read the reports from Zelthara Prime. Your methods were unusual for a medical mission. Dr. Yelena, our methods were effective. The medical emergency was resolved in less than 24 hours. All patients made full recoveries. Yes, but you used warships and military force. The medical coalition has always been neutral in conflicts. We provide aid to all sides without taking part in fighting. Morrison leaned forward. Doctor, with respect, neutrality did not help the people of Zelthara Prime. They were dying while they waited for traditional medical ships to arrive. Sometimes medical emergencies require immediate action. Dr. Vexhall, who had been invited to attend the meeting, stood up. If I may speak, I was there during the crisis. Traditional medical methods would have been too slow. The humans saved millions of lives by treating the cause of our suffering, not just the symptoms. Another coalition member, Dr. Zorith, spoke up. Dr. Vexhall, we understand your gratitude, but the humans destroyed an entire fleet. That goes against everything the medical coalition stands for. They disabled a fleet that was attacking innocent people with biological weapons, Vexhall corrected, and they captured the research needed to cure the victims. Most of the enemy crew members survived and received medical treatment. Dr. Ben Carter, who was also at the meeting, added his perspective. Ladies and gentlemen, we did not attack the Korthak fleet for military reasons. We attacked them for medical reasons. They were the source of a biological contamination that was causing widespread suffering. In human medicine, we always treat the source of infection. Dr. Yelena looked confused. Dr. Carter, you speak of military action as if it were medical treatment. Because in this case it was, Carter replied. The Korthak biological weapons were designed to cause maximum suffering while keeping victims alive for weeks. This is not warfare. This is torture. As medical professionals, we had a duty to stop it immediately. Admiral Morrison stood up and walked to a large display screen. Directors, let me show you something. He activated the screen, which showed a map of the galaxy. Red dots appeared in several locations. These are the locations where the Korthak Empire has used biological weapons in the past 6 months. Each red dot represents millions of suffering people. The room became very quiet as the medical professionals looked at the map. Captain Hayes has been leading follow-up missions to these locations. Morrison continued. We have been able to cure the victims and capture more Korthak research. But there are 3 more attacks happening right now. 3 new red dots appeared on the map. Dr. Zorth stared at the display. 3 more worlds under biological attack? Yes, and traditional medical missions will take weeks to reach them. The people on those worlds are suffering right now while we sit here and debate methods. Dr. Yelena was quiet for a long moment. Admiral Morrison, what exactly are you proposing? I am proposing that the medical coalition needs a rapid response capability. When people are suffering because of military attacks, sometimes you need military solutions to create medical solutions. Dr. Carter activated another part of the display. We have also made a discovery about Korthak biological weapons. They are not just random attacks. The Korthak Empire has been testing different biological agents on different species. They are collecting data about how various alien biologies respond to different toxins. That means, Morrison added, they are preparing for a large-scale biological war against multiple species. This is not just a series of isolated attacks. This is research for something much worse. The meeting room erupted in worried conversations as the alien doctors realized the implications. Dr. Vexhal stood up again. Directors, the humans are offering to help us stop this research before it can be used against more innocent people. They are not asking us to become warriors. They are asking us to let them fight so that we can heal. Dr. Yelena called for order. Admiral Morrison, if we were to accept your proposal, what would this rapid response capability look like? Morrison walked back to his seat. Dr. Yelena, we would establish joint medical military units. When a medical emergency involves military threats, we respond with both doctors and soldiers. The soldiers remove the threat while the doctors treat the victims. And you would be willing to place these units under medical coalition authority? Yes, with one condition. When we determine that military action is medically necessary, we need the authority to act immediately. People die while committees debate. Dr. Carter added, we have also been working with former Korthak scientists who want to use their knowledge for healing instead of hurting. They have helped us develop cures for biological weapons we had never seen before. You are working with enemy scientists? Dr. Zorth asked. We are working with any scientist who wants to save lives instead of taking them. Carter replied. Some of the best medical advances in human history have come from studying diseases created by our enemies. Captain Hayes entered the meeting room and approached Admiral Morrison. Sir, I have an urgent report from the 3 worlds currently under Korthak attack. Go ahead, Captain. The situation is getting worse. The Korthak have introduced a new biological agent that is resistant to all known treatments. Casualty numbers are rising rapidly. Dr. Yelena looked at the report Hayes handed her. How long would it take traditional medical ships to reach these worlds? 2 weeks for the closest one, ma'am. And how long would it take your rapid response units? Admiral Morrison checked his tactical display. We could have medical military teams at all 3 locations within 18 hours. The room was silent as the coalition directors considered their options. Dr. Vexhal spoke into the silence. Directors, I have worked with both traditional medical missions and human medical military operations. Traditional missions are wonderful when you have time and when the threat is natural disease. But when the threat is artificial and ongoing, you need the human approach. What do you mean? Dr. Yelena asked. Traditional medicine treats the sick and hopes the cause of sickness goes away on its own. Human medicine treats the sick and makes sure the cause of sickness is removed permanently. Dr. Carter stood up. Dr. Yelena, while you decide what to do officially, I am prepared to take a volunteer medical team to those 3 worlds immediately. We cannot wait while people suffer. Morrison nodded. The 7th Battle Group is ready to provide transportation and security for any medical coalition personnel who want to respond immediately. Dr. Yelena looked around the room at her fellow directors. All in favor of authorizing an emergency response mission led by Dr. Carter and Admiral Morrison? Every hand in the room went up. The motion passes, Dr. Carter. You have full medical coalition authority to respond to these emergencies using whatever methods you determine are medically necessary. Admiral Morrison activated his communication system. All ships of the 7th Battle Group, prepare for immediate departure. We have 3 medical emergencies requiring rapid response. As the meeting broke up, Dr. Yelena approached Morrison privately. Admiral, I want you to know that this is very difficult for us. The medical coalition has never used military force before. Dr. Yelena, you are not using military force. You are using medical force. We fight so that you can heal. There is a difference. I hope you are right, Admiral. Dr. Vexhall joined their conversation. Dr. Yelena, I would like to volunteer for the rapid response team. I want to learn more about human medical methods. Carter smiled. Dr. Vexhall, we would be honored to have you join us. You can help us understand alien biology better, and we can show you our approach to emergency medicine. 3 hours later, the human fleet departed for the 3 worlds under attack. But this time, they carried the official authorization of the Galactic Medical Coalition. The white medical ships flew alongside the gray warships, both working toward the same goal. Admiral Morrison looked at the star map showing their destinations. Captain Hayes, this is the beginning of something new. We are not just human doctors anymore. We are galactic doctors. Sir, do you think the other species will accept our methods? They will when they see the results, Morrison replied. Sometimes the best way to prove that your medicine works is to use it successfully. Dr. Carter was preparing his medical teams for the missions ahead. People, we are about to show the galaxy that human medicine can solve problems that no one else can solve. We fight to heal, and we heal those we fight. Remember that, and we will change how the galaxy thinks about medicine forever. As the fleet moved toward the stars, carrying both weapons and medical supplies, the first chapter of galactic medical military cooperation had begun. The universe was about to learn that sometimes the best medicine was delivered by people who were willing to fight for the right to heal.